Hello everyone, in this video we'll be talking about alignment, grouping, auto layout and vector editing. These are example of onboarding. So this is an onboarding for e-commerce and this is an onboarding for a fintech app. Okay, so if you look at this design, starting from the status bar to the illustration to the content and then the navigator and then the button, you see that everything is precisely placed in a position. It is well aligned, it is well grouped, and it is well structured. The same thing for this fintech onboarding. Now, how can we create something like this? How can we create a design as sleek and cool like this? Okay, the first thing we need to do is to bring in our frame. So from when you click on frame, you come to this phone and then you select the particular phone you want to use. For this, let's use the iPhone 16. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to get all these icons. So what is the first icon here? The first icon here is the battery. So we are going to use iconify to get battery. Then this one we can create it with a text. We get a Bluetooth. So just drag it and drop here. Then we get a Wi-Fi. Drag it and drop here. Then we can create this with a text too. So let's create this time. So the time is 9:30, 9:42 a.m. Okay, the AM should be in caps. AM. So we have this now. Then we need this. So what we need to do is, instead of coming here to create another one, just click this and duplicate. How do you duplicate? You click alternate, you click and then you drag. Then we click it to edit 42 and percent. So now we've gotten this. If you look at this section, it is divided into two. We have these guys here and we have these guys. Okay, so let's create that. All these icons, we need to make sure that they are like their sizes are 20. So what did I do here? I can start by clicking this first one, decrease the width and height, or I can just click that, hold my shift also, click this, hold shift again and click this, so that I can resize all of them at the same time. And then come here to 20. So these two are together and I want them to be grouped together. These three are together also and I want them to be grouped together. So we'll do that in the grouping stage. But the first thing we want to talk about, like I mentioned, is alignment. Now if you look at this, you see that they are not properly placed in the same position. If we use our ruler to check, you see that they are not in alignment. Also, look at this, they are not properly aligned. The core of UI design is alignment, and as such, if your design is not properly aligned, it's not going to look good. Now, how do we align this? Remove the ruler. So you can just highlight the both of them like this. Highlight the both of them, or you click this, hold shift and click this. Now when you click the boots, you see positioning here. So with positioning, we are not using this position, we are using this vertical align option. So with this vertical align option, we are going to align vertical center like this. So the both of them are in the same position now. Now we'll come to this, click this, hold on shift, click this and click this again and do the same thing. Now we'll have all of them here in the same line. We have them here in the same line too. Now how do we make all of them in the same line? Click, after selecting, highlighting all this, you will click this. Remember, holding your shift and you click this also. And you align all of them. So like this now, all of them are properly aligned. This is how you can align your content. Now we have grouping. There is a way web and app works. They work in sections and grouping. So this is a particular section. The status bar is a section on its own. And then in the section we have two groups. We have this group and we have this group. So this has to be indicated. Now how do we group this? We can group by using Ctrl G. We can group by using Ctrl G. So you click Ctrl G, it's now grouped. You click this, click this, click this, and you type Ctrl G like this. This is grouped and this is grouped. Now we need to group all of them together. Ctrl G again. Now we have all of them as one group. This is what grouping is. Now on the other hand, we have auto layout. So I'm just going to ungroup this by clicking on it and clicking on group like this. Okay, so the need for auto layout. Auto layout is also a way you can group an item, but in grouping we now have to do with alignment precision. How do I mean? With auto layout, you can decide the amount of spacing you want in between these guys. And how can you add auto layout? If you highlight the boats that you want to group together, you click Shift A. So once you click Shift A, you can determine the spacing you want in between. If you want the spacing to be 5 or 10, you can determine it from here. So we want the spacing in between these guys to be 5, and then we are going to do the same to these guys also. Shift A, remember, and the spacing in between should be 5. Now the next thing we need to do is to make these guys in one section. Shift A again, like I said, and you can align center. Once we align center, you can stretch this to determine the space that's going to be in between. So this is grouping, it's nice, and this is auto layout, which is also nice. Okay, so in order to practice this, we are just going to finish this particular screen. We'll design it, and then what you need to do is to design yours and share the link on the comment section. Alright, so the next thing we need here is this illustration. So I'm just going to come to my plugin, go to icon 8, and search for shopping or shop. Let's try shop. Okay, let's try shopping now. So we're just going to scroll and look for the best option we can get from here. So I think this is not bad. So once you get what you want, just drag and drop it here. So this is it here. Remember to resize it, well, all we need to do is hold on shift and resize properly. So this is what we have as our illustration. Just need to properly position it. Now the next thing is to get this text. So the first is shop on Figma. Now, how to format this? So you must make sure that this your um, line height is set to auto. So you should have something like this now. Then you need a paragraph. To get the paragraph, you can, instead of thinking of what to type, you can just use a plugin which is called Lorem Ipsum. Just click run. Then we can use it to generate dummy content, like we need just one sentence. Generate. I think one sentence is small. So let's generate one paragraph. One paragraph. So this is one paragraph. Just one. So let's reduce it. It's picking the format from this header, but what we need is a paragraph header, so we're going to work on resizing. Okay, now we have this. This is the header and this is the paragraph. Okay, so we need this indicator. The work of this indicator is to show that this onboarding screen is not just one, we have three. So this onboarding screen is like showing you the things you can do in the app. You can shop, unlock more, you can do this, you can do that. So three different things. So how can we create the indicator? We are going to use our ellipse, which is to create a circular shape like this. Once you get the first one, both alternates, click and drag. Then the next one you can click Ctrl D to get the three of them like this. Now to create a button like this, you can use frame to create your button. Once you get the frame, you give it a color. Then you can add the text inside saying next. So there are different ways you can create a button. I'm going to drop a particular video in the comment section that will show you the different ways you can create a button. So I think this is about it. Now what is left? The only thing left is for us to properly align them, give them auto layouts, group them to make them look. Now starting from this, we have to change the color of these guys. So what color are we going to use? Let's use a dark gray color like this. Let's use our ruler to properly to make sure our items are properly aligned. We are actually going to talk about grid lines later on. Okay, so this has been properly aligned. We now have this guy here. So let's check the color here. I think it's the same also. The first thing is to align these two. You click this and you also click this. Shift A. Give it auto layout. Now the spacing in between should not be more than 10. Now we need to group this together. Instead of grouping, auto layout is better. Now for this indicator, what we need to do is to use auto layout to resize it, and the spacing in between can be 3. So we need to change the colors. Let's check out the colors. Yeah. So we need these two colors to be this. So I'm just copying the color code from this project. If you can't copy the color code this way, what you need to do is when you click on a particular item you want to color, if you have the design here, you just use your color picker to pick the color. This is it. Our next should be color whites like this. Now, how do we align these guys? Auto layout to automatically align our items. Now, we have been able to create something like this. This is an onboarding, and we did all this practicing alignment, grouping, and auto layout. Most of what we did here is using auto layout, and it's because all we need to do is to align text and align our icons. But if we have more to do, like grouping images that we don't want to be in a particular flow, then we can use grouping. For example, if I have this circle like this and like this, and I want them to be in a particular flow, I can use auto layout, Shift A, then I can decide to create a vertical layout with it or a horizontal layout, and there is what we call wrap here. So we wrap to automatically resize depending on the width I set it to. But if you want to create something like this, you can also use auto layouts. But if you want to create something like this that is more complex and this is not in a particular flow, you can use grouping just to group them together. But you need to make sure that every item is properly aligned and properly placed in order for you not to create a design that is not looking good. So this now is grouping and this is auto layout. With auto layouts, you can work on the spacing in between, you can work on the height, you can work on the width, etc. Now the last thing we are going to talk about is vector editing. What is a vector? A vector is an object in a design file that is editable. For example, this guy is a vector. And what you need to know about the vector is the vector always maintain 100% quality. So this guy is a vector and I can easily edit this vector. What I need to do is just to look for a point in it and I can use it to create another shape depending on what I want. I can also double click it and touch the edges. Use it to get a particular shape that I want. This is a vector. Now this icon is also a vector. And I can decide to double click. So let's change the color so that it's more visible. I can decide to double click and edit it. So all vectors are editable and you can use them to get what you want. When we talked about all these other shapes like polygon, they are vectors, so you can also use them to, you can edit them and use them to get that shape. Okay, so now that we are done with that, what I need us to do is, I need us to create an example. I need us to create something like this. So this is just preview to check it out how it will look on a mobile phone. So what I need us to do is to create something like this and drop the link in the comment section. See you in the next video.